this city!
Wrong address, wrong innocent man doesn't matter. Time to teach a lesson. Inspector Marcus Thompson's boot crashes through Daniel Williams's front door just after midnight. Wooden fragments scatter across the hallway like shrapnel. 5 officers charge through the shattered entrance. Tactical lights pierce through the darkness of Riverside subdivision. Daniel steps out from his bedroom wearing shorts and a worn shirt, arms raised high. But there's something unusual about how he holds himself. Too steady, too practiced. "Get down on the ground right now before I make you regret it," Thompson shouts, forcing Daniel face first onto his living room carpet. Daniel doesn't resist or plead. His breathing remains controlled like someone who's trained for exactly this moment, which seems odd. Very odd. Some doors should never be kicked in. Some men aren't what they seem to be, and some errors carry consequences that stretch far beyond one crooked cop's wildest dreams. In 11 minutes, this residence will be completely surrounded. Thompson's entire world is about to crumble, and the calm man on his living room floor, he's far from defenseless. The destroyed entrance dangles from broken hinges. Thompson feels powerful, dominant. He has absolutely no idea how mistaken he is. 4 hours earlier, Daniel Williams tends to his front yard in Riverside subdivision. Wednesday evening routine around 9:30. The sprinkler system requires manual fixing again. 4th time this month. His neighbors greet him from their driveways, returning home from late shifts at Memorial Stadium, Jackson Airport, and the casino floors that operate around the clock. "Good evening, Daniel," calls Ms. Jackson from across the street, struggling with shopping bags from her sedan. "Working overtime again." "Consulting projects," he answers smoothly while adjusting the water nozzle. "Client meeting tomorrow morning. Security software installation for a tech company. You understand how these corporate clients demand perfection with their deadlines." She doesn't understand the full picture. Nobody does. Ms. Jackson believes Daniel assists businesses with computer network installations. Daniel's townhouse sits peacefully among identical homes built for middle-tier professionals and government workers. Solar panels shine under evening lights. Neat yards display approved desert landscaping. Stone gardens replacing traditional lawns. The type of community where residents respect privacy and assume neighbors lead predictable, ordinary existences just like themselves. His mailbox contains consulting bills from Datatech Services Corporation, home repair magazines, restaurant coupons, and bank card promotions. Power bills under Daniel Williams's name showing average consumption. Streaming service subscription automatically charging. Fitness center membership at round-the-clock gym on Highland Avenue. Ordinary middle-class paper evidence built over 19 careful months. Nothing suspicious, nothing federal. Daniel has mastered this suburban disguise down to every tiny element. The garage contains a basic gray Honda Accord with 92,000 miles, standard gardening equipment still dusty from weekend lawn maintenance, and storage boxes labeled business materials that genuinely hold actual marketing pamphlets and technical guides. Neighbors observe a divorced consultant rebuilding his existence after relocating from Oregon following a difficult breakup. They don't observe the man who vanishes for 4 or 5 days at intervals, returning with that particular bone-deep weariness that comes from tracking dangerous individuals through casino back offices, police association gatherings, and midnight cash exchanges in industrial areas. His refrigerator shows Sophie's school photographs, his 13-year-old daughter living with his former wife Rachel in Denver. Basketball team calendars magneted beside shopping reminders. School meeting notifications, pizza shop magnets, typical separated father details scattered across stainless steel. The kind of authentic touches that make false identities not merely convincing, but genuinely inhabited. Real connections with real stakes. Around 10 o'clock, Daniel's encrypted mobile device vibrates once with a coded message from Special Agent Michelle Carter at FBI Phoenix Regional Office. Status report required on Operation Desert Justice. Thompson's group has moved up their schedule considerably. Casino funds are flowing through police association accounts faster than projected. Commander Harrison getting anxious about federal scrutiny. Daniel types carefully. Subject remains entirely oblivious. Network documentation 98% finished. Money trails verified through 4 casino connections. Suggest advance to next phase within 49 hours maximum. He powers off the device, places it into a concealed space behind his bathroom mirror alongside his duty weapon and leather federal identification holder. Transforms back into suburban consultant Daniel Williams, who streams crime documentaries and discusses association regulations at monthly gatherings. Around 11:40, he relaxes in bed with his weathered paperback thriller novel. Ironic reading selection, considering his actual existence makes political fiction appear like innocent fairy tales. The residence feels calm tonight, secure, normal, exactly as planned through months of meticulous preparation. Thompson's about to destroy that carefully built piece forever. Just after midnight, Daniel's front entrance explodes inward like a detonation. Metro Police Department search authorization. Inspector Marcus Thompson charges through the destroyed doorframe, followed by officers Roberts, Williams, and Sanchez. 5 tactical lights slice through Riverside subdivision darkness like hunting predators. Daniel jerks awake in his bedroom, pulse racing. Hands visible now, get up immediately. Daniel raises his arms slowly, carefully. Federal training activates automatically. Obey, watch, survive, collect information. Thompson's light beam blinds him temporarily. The sharp smell of Thompson's bargain cologne mixes with pure fear and freshly broken wood scattered across his floors. Exit the bed. Keep those hands where we can see them or you'll regret it. Daniel obeys without pause. Shorts and a faded training academy shirt that Thompson can't read properly in the chaotic darkness. Thompson pushes him toward the living area with needless aggression. Rough hands searching for weapons that aren't present. "What's happening, officers?" Daniel asks. His tone stays remarkably steady. Too steady for someone being attacked at midnight. "Keep quiet. You'll learn when we choose to inform you." Ms. Jackson's porch light flickers across the road like a signal. Then another neighbor's light. Then 4 more. Riverside subdivision never witnesses midnight police raids. Neighbors emerge cautiously onto their properties. Mobile devices already recording everything. Security cameras capture the violence in crystal-clear digital proof that will haunt Thompson later. Thompson handcuffs Daniel with purposeful, painful pressure. Metal cuts deeply into his skin, stopping blood flow. Daniel doesn't fight or protest. His breathing stays regulated, trained, exactly like someone who's prepared for this precise situation. Search authorization for what exact violation? Daniel attempts again, using specific legal terminology. "I said be quiet, don't force me to repeat myself." That racist insult hangs in the night atmosphere like toxic vapor. Ms. Jackson's 18-year-old son begins broadcasting on social media. Police misconduct starts going viral in Riverside within 5 minutes of the door being destroyed. Officer Roberts searches through Daniel's kitchen methodically, emptying cabinets, scattering coffee and utensils across spotless surfaces. Williams ransacks the master bedroom, hurling clothes from furniture drawers. Sanchez photographs everything with his department camera. Standard search procedures being followed, except there's no visible authorization paperwork anywhere. "Where's your search authorization document?" Daniel asks quietly, professionally. Thompson strikes him hard across the face without warning. "You don't question anything in my jurisdiction. We question. You respond or face punishment." Blood trickles from Daniel's cut lip down his face. He doesn't wipe it away. Cannot with restraints limiting his movement. Neighbors gasp audibly from their windows and doorways. More devices start recording the assault. Social media alerts ping continuously. Daniel. Ms. Jackson calls from her property, voice trembling with worry. "Daniel, sweetheart, are you all right? What's happening?" "Ma'am, return inside your residence immediately," Thompson shouts aggressively. "This is authorized police activity. Do not interfere." She doesn't retreat inside. Instead, she contacts emergency services, describing what she's witnessing to dispatch in real time. 8 other neighbors follow her lead. Emergency operators receive multiple independent reports about potential police brutality occurring at 459 Riverside Lane. Daniel studies Thompson's expression carefully in the scattered, chaotic light beams. Bloodshot eyes suggesting alcohol use. Liquor scent on his breath mixing with anger. This isn't authorized police work. This is personal, vindictive, targeted intimidation disguised as law enforcement. Roberts emerges from the kitchen empty-handed. Nothing concerning in there, Marcus, just typical kitchen items. Williams returns from the bedroom equally disappointed. Spotless, too spotless, like he expected our arrival. Thompson's visible anger builds dangerously. Whatever proof they came seeking, they're not discovering it anywhere. Daniel's false identity remains absolutely flawless. Consulting documents scattered naturally. Family photographs positioned believably. Normal suburban existence with zero flaws showing. But Thompson's increasing desperation is about to become violent. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more. The security camera footage spreads faster than wildfire through Riverside's community app. Ms. Jackson's live broadcast gains 50 viewers in 4 minutes, then multiplies every 40 seconds as shares increase across platforms. Emergency dispatch receives 10 separate calls reporting police brutality occurring at 459 Riverside Lane within 7 minutes. "This is unacceptable," whispers Mr. Peterson from 3 houses away, his device recording through his front window. "They're treating him like an animal. Where's their authorization? Where's their supervisor? This isn't how police should conduct themselves." Thompson drags Daniel across his living area by the restraint chain. Metal cutting deeper into his skin with each aggressive pull. Daniel stumbles but doesn't collapse completely. His balance stays centered, athletic, regulated despite the restraints. Neighbors notice how he moves. Trained, purposeful, nothing like a panicked civilian under brutal assault. "Where's the cash?" Thompson demands, slamming Daniel against his dining area wall with brutal force. Family photographs of Sophie rattle in their frames, glass cracking audibly. "We know you've been making inquiries, placing calls, investigating matters that don't concern you." Daniel says nothing. His calculated silence enrages Thompson further. "I'm addressing you. Are you deaf or simply ignorant? Respond when I'm speaking." Williams emerges from the garage, shaking his head in visible disappointment. "Nothing there either, Marcus. Just vehicle maintenance supplies and yard equipment. Guys got organized receipts for everything dating back 3 years." The crowd outside expands rapidly in the summer warmth. 13 neighbors now, devices raised like electronic torches in the darkness. Ms. Jackson contacts her daughter Michelle, who works as a journalist at Channel 5 News. "Something horrible is happening to Daniel," she whispers urgently into her device. "They're hurting him, and I don't believe they have any legal authority to be here whatsoever." Sanchez returns from the bathroom search, equally empty-handed and increasingly uneasy. No illegal substances anywhere, no hidden weapons, no cash bundles, no drug equipment. This individual is cleaner than my grandmother's immaculate kitchen. Thompson's expression darkens with each negative update. This was supposed to be straightforward, simple intimidation. Break in, discover proof of Daniel investigating casino operations. Plant evidence if absolutely required. Teach him a lasting lesson about staying in his appropriate place. Instead, they're executing an obviously unlawful home invasion in front of multiple recording devices. "Check his computer files," Thompson orders desperately. "Phone records, financial statements, email accounts, social media profiles. Something incriminating exists here somewhere." Roberts activates Daniel's desktop computer. The screen displays consulting presentations, mundane client emails, and streaming service viewing records. Music playlists featuring classic bands. Online shopping receipts for lawn equipment and household items. Nothing remotely suspicious anywhere. Daniel's digital footprint screams boring suburban professional who watches too much television. "Marcus," Roberts says quietly, growing visibly uncomfortable. "Maybe we received faulty intelligence here. This individual appears completely legitimate." Intelligence is absolutely solid, Thompson snaps back aggressively. Harrison verified it personally this afternoon at the association gathering. This person has been asking pointed questions about association operations, about our casino security arrangements. Someone's definitely compensating him to investigate our business. Daniel's attention sharpens at Harrison. Commander Robert Harrison, Metro Police Association President, the man accepting monthly payments from casino security contracts. The spider at the Corruption Web Center that Daniel's been systematically documenting for 19 months. Outside, the crowd reaches 16 concerned residents. Ms. Jackson's daughter Michelle arrives with experienced Channel 5 News cameraman Paul Martinez, equipment already recording. We received multiple reports of potential police misconduct, she announces clearly to Thompson through the destroyed front entrance. Can you provide any official statement on the nature of this operation? Thompson panics visibly. Media attention wasn't part of tonight's plan whatsoever. This was supposed to be quiet, unofficial intimidation, not public spectacle broadcast across social media platforms. This is an active criminal investigation. No statement available to media. Clear the vicinity immediately for officer protection. Do you possess a valid authorization for this residential search? Journalist Michelle Jackson presses professionally. Thompson doesn't respond. Cannot respond honestly because there is absolutely no authorization. Williams discovers Daniel's encrypted mobile device hidden behind the bathroom mirror. Got something interesting, Marcus. Burner device, password secured, heavy encryption. Thompson's eyes illuminate with cruel satisfaction. Now we're finally making progress. Unlock it immediately. Can't access it. Heavily encrypted. Military-grade security programming. Daniel's pulse quickens for the first time tonight. That device contains 19 months of painstakingly collected federal proof, surveillance photographs of corrupt officers, recorded conversations of casino gatherings, financial records that could expose Operation Desert Justice before arrests can be properly completed. Thompson grabs a tool from Daniel's garage box, raises it threateningly above the device's screen. Stop, Daniel says quietly, displaying his first genuine sign of concern all evening. Thompson smiles like a predator, finally detecting weakness in his prey. Now you want to communicate with us? The neighbors outside press closer to the illuminated windows, devices recording every threatening word. Social media posts multiplying exponentially across platforms. Justice for Daniel trending across the region within 9 minutes. Daniel makes a calculated choice that will transform everything. That device contains my daughter's photographs, Daniel says calmly. Personal family memories, nothing unlawful. Thompson studies Daniel's expression. Something's different about this individual. Most people would be crying by now, pleading, breaking down under pressure. Daniel Williams sits perfectly still, posture straight, breathing regulated like he's meditating instead of being brutalized. You're awfully composed for someone whose residence just got invaded, Wilson observes suspiciously. Daniel shrugs. Panic doesn't resolve problems, clear thinking does. That phrase stops Thompson cold. Clear thinking does. That's tactical doctrine, military training, law enforcement academy language. Civilians don't speak like that under stress. Roberts notices too. Marcus, observe how he's sitting, hands positioned for quick movement despite the restraints, eyes monitoring all 5 of us simultaneously. This isn't normal civilian behavior. Daniel realizes his training is showing. 19 months of suburban camouflage and now professional instincts are bleeding through his cover. He adjusts his posture slightly, attempts to appear more helpless. Too late. What's your military background? Thompson demands. No military background, Daniel answers truthfully. FBI Academy isn't military, technically. You move like law enforcement, sit like law enforcement, speak like law enforcement. Outside, Ms. Jackson's live broadcast reaches 350 viewers. Comments flood in from across the region. This man is too composed. Something's not right here. Why isn't he more frightened? Williams searches Daniel's closet more carefully now, seeking uniforms, tactical equipment, anything explaining Daniel's unusual composure. Discovers only consulting clothes and weekend casual attire. Check his footwear, Thompson orders. Look for tactical boots. Sanchez examines Daniel's shoes. Running sneakers, athletic shoes, one pair of formal shoes for client meetings. No tactical boots, no military surplus, no law enforcement equipment anywhere. But Daniel's behavior keeps triggering their instincts. You've experienced this before, Thompson states, not a question. Experienced what? Interrogation, detention. You understand the procedures too well. Daniel stays silent. Thompson circles him like a predator studying unusual prey. Most civilians panic when 5 armed men invade their residence. You didn't even raise your voice. That's training, professional training. Roberts discovers Daniel's gym membership card. Round-the-clock fitness. Says here he takes their self-defense courses, combat training. Thompson's suspicion deepens. Self-defense, huh? What else you studying, Daniel? Tactical driving, weapons training. Just attempting to stay fit after my divorce. The neighbors outside grow more organized. Michelle Jackson's news report goes live on Channel 5. Good evening. I'm reporting from Riverside, where police have conducted what appears to be an unauthorized search of a resident's residence. The man being detained displays unusual composure during this ordeal, leading to questions about his background. Thompson's radio crackles. Dispatch reports media on location. Commander Harrison's voice comes through clearly. Thompson, what's your situation? We're receiving calls about news crews. Daniel's attention sharpens at Harrison's voice. The man he's been investigating is personally monitoring this raid. That confirms this isn't random police work. This is targeted intimidation ordered from the top. Everything's managed, Commander. Thompson lies into his radio. Better be, make it quick and clean. Harrison clicks off. Thompson stares at Daniel with new intensity. You know what I believe? I believe you're not just asking questions about casino operations. I believe you're working for someone. Internal affairs, maybe, or worse. Daniel's pulse quickens slightly. Thompson's getting dangerously close to the truth. I'm a technology consultant, nothing more. Technology consultants don't possess federal-grade encryption on their devices. It's for client privacy. Thompson raises the tool again. Final chance, who are you really working for? The crowd outside has expanded to 28 people. Multiple live broadcasts running simultaneously. Regional police trending on social platforms. The story is spreading rapidly in real time. Daniel makes a calculated choice. He cannot reveal his FBI identity yet, but he can plant seeds of doubt in Thompson's mind, make him nervous, make him commit errors. You should be extremely careful, Inspector Thompson, Daniel says quietly. Is that a threat? It's guidance. Some people have connections in high places. Thompson's confidence wavers for the first time tonight. Thompson's radio crackles again around 12:30. Commander Harrison sounds increasingly agitated through the static interference. Status report immediately. Thompson, what's your current situation? Still conducting the search, Commander. Subjects being uncooperative, but we're making progress on the intelligence gathering. Discover what we specifically discussed this afternoon and exit fast. Too much civilian attention developing. Neighbors contacting media outlets. What we specifically discussed. Daniel files that phrase away mentally. Clear proof of premeditated conspiracy, not random police work or legitimate law enforcement activity. 4 blocks away in the desert parking area, FBI Special Agent Michelle Carter sits in an unmarked surveillance vehicle monitoring Daniel's subcutaneous tracking device through real-time satellite connection. His heart rate increased twice in the last 6 minutes. Not panic or fear, but professional recognition. Controlled interest. Chief's giving us subtle signals through biodata. She radios to the Federal Tactical Response Team, positioned strategically around Riverside Subdivision. Something's definitely accelerating our original schedule. Possible compromise situation developing. Back inside Daniel's ransacked living area, Roberts discovers detailed financial records in his desk drawer. Bank statements showing steady consulting revenue over 19 months. Credit reports, investment summaries. Nothing remotely suspicious for a technology consultant, but Thompson examines them with unusual intensity for what should be a drug possession raid. This individual's got $51,000 in personal savings, Thompson announces to his team. What kind of consultant accumulates that much liquid funds? Someone who doesn't waste money on illegal substances or gambling, Daniel suggests calmly, reasonably. Thompson strikes him again, harder this time. Daniel's federal training kicks in automatically. He rolls with the impact, redirecting force, minimizing potential damage to his face and teeth. Another distinctly professional response that Thompson notices immediately. There, right there, you understand exactly how to absorb a hit without sustaining serious injury. That's advanced combat training, not civilian self-defense courses. Williams discovers Daniel's laptop browsing history cached in temporary files. Marcus, you need to examine this immediately. He's been systematically researching state police association finances. News articles about casino security contracts, public database searches on law enforcement salary discrepancies. Thompson's expression goes visibly pale beneath his tactical light beam. What are you investigating us for? Who's compensating you? Research for a consulting client. Casino security technology installation. What client specifically? Give me names. Daniel maintains calculated silence. Thompson's desperation grows increasingly visible to his backup officers. Outside, the concerned crowd reaches 33 neighbors and growing. Ms. Jackson's Channel 5 live broadcast has accumulated 4,500 active viewers across multiple social media platforms. Comments pour in continuously. Contact the FBI immediately. This appears completely unlawful. Where's their search authorization? The story spreads across social media, faster than Thompson can possibly contain or control it. 4 miles away, Michelle Carter receives encrypted status updates from Officer Roberts, the clean cop wearing an FBI wire for 19 months of deep cover work. His voice transmission comes through crystal clear. Thompson's entering panic mode. Discovered detailed financial research on police associations and casino connections. Daniel's not breaking character completely, but his professional training keeps bleeding through his cover. We need extraction procedures ready for immediate deployment. Roberts, still performing his role as corrupt backup officer, secretly photographs Daniel's research documents with a hidden camera sewn into his tactical vest. Additional proof for the expanding federal case. Sanchez searches Daniel's attached garage more thoroughly, systematically, discovers detailed maintenance records for the Honda Accord, oil change receipts from Quick Lube, tire rotation documentation from Discount Tires. Everything appears perfectly normal for suburban vehicle ownership, except for one notable element. The handwritten mileage logs show frequent trips to Denver, Colorado. Denver, Thompson mutters suspiciously. That's where Harrison mentioned the Federal Organized Crime Task Force operates their field office from. Daniel's blood runs cold. Harrison knows about Operation Desert Justice's Denver operational connections. The corruption network runs significantly deeper than federal investigators originally realized. Williams discovers Daniel's encrypted mobile device has attempted multiple connections to encrypted federal communication networks. The device's metadata visible in the security access logs shows regular communication with confirmed FBI servers. Marcus, this device has been actively communicating with federal law enforcement networks, encrypted channels, government procedures. Thompson grabs Daniel by the throat with both hands. You're a federal agent. You're an undercover federal agent. I'm a technology consultant with government clients. Complete lies. No private consultant requires this level of military-grade encryption. No consultant researches police association finances this extensively. No consultant stays this professionally composed under intense interrogation. Thompson's radio erupts with Harrison's increasingly frantic voice. Abort operation immediately. Abort now. Federal vehicles spotted approaching the community perimeter. Extract your team and exit immediately. But Thompson's too consumed with anger to listen to direct orders. 19 months of accepting substantial casino money, and now this seemingly ordinary suburban consultant might expose their entire corruption network. "Where's your federal badge hidden?" Thompson screams, violently tearing through Daniel's personal belongings. "Where are your official credentials stored?" Roberts's hidden FBI camera captures Thompson's explicit confession about casino money payments. Federal proof accumulating in real time for prosecution. Michelle Carter's voice crackles urgently through Roberts's concealed earpiece. Subject's cover blown completely. Thompson knows Daniel's federal law enforcement. Initiate emergency extraction procedures in 70 seconds maximum. The neighbors outside clearly hear Thompson screaming about federal agents through the destroyed front entrance. Social media platforms explode with wild speculation. Hashtag federal agent trends nationally alongside hashtag Riverside Police within minutes. Daniel makes deliberate eye contact with Roberts, the only honest police officer in the room. Roberts gives an almost imperceptible professional nod. Federal backup is approaching fast. Thompson discovers Daniel's spare FBI credentials hidden behind a false wall panel in the master bedroom closet. The black leather wallet contains his authentic federal identification. Special Agent Daniel Williams, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Organized Crime Task Force Division. Thompson's entire corrupt world collapses instantly. "You're FBI. You've been systematically investigating our operations for months." "Actually," Daniel says with perfect composure, 19 months of comprehensive investigation." Thompson draws his service weapon, pointing it directly at Daniel's forehead. "Federal agent or not, you're not surviving this residence tonight." Through the destroyed front entrance, multiple tactical lights begin approaching rapidly. Federal agents have arrived. Thompson's weapon trembles against Daniel's temple. "Drop your weapons and step back or the Fed dies right here." But the tactical lights outside aren't federal backup. They're more corrupt cops responding to Harrison's emergency call. Lieutenant Davis, Inspector Martinez, and Officer Bennett. All part of the casino kickback network Daniel has been documenting. "Situation managed," Davis announces, entering through the destroyed entrance. "Perimeter secured, no federal vehicles in sight." Thompson's relief is visible. "Thank goodness, we need to end this problem permanently." Daniel's heart rate spikes. His federal backup team believes he's in control. They don't know Thompson discovered his credentials. Michelle Carter's surveillance shows normal biometrics. Daniel's training masks his genuine fear. "Harrison wants him moved to a secondary location," Martinez reports. "Too many witnesses here, too much social media attention." "What secondary location?" Thompson asks. "Warehouse District Dock 21. Same place we handled the Rodriguez problem." Rodriguez, Officer Luis Rodriguez, who went missing 7 months ago. Daniel thought Rodriguez had been transferred. Now he realizes Rodriguez is probably dead, murdered by this same group for asking too many questions. "Sir," the clean officer Roberts interrupts carefully. "Maybe we should follow proper procedures, book him officially, let the system handle." "Keep quiet, Roberts," Davis snaps. "You're new to our arrangement. Harrison makes choices about federal problems." Daniel studies room dynamics. 8 corrupt officers now. 1 clean cop attempting to protect him without exposing his own cover. 33 neighbors outside with cameras. This situation is escalating beyond anyone's control. Thompson presses his weapon harder against Daniel's skull. "You recorded our conversations, didn't you? Wire recordings, financial records. How much proof do you possess?" "Enough," Daniel says quietly. "Enough for what?" "Arrests, indictments." How many of us are you planning to destroy? All of you. Thompson strikes Daniel with the weapon butt, opening a wound above his eyebrow. Blood streams down his face. The crowd outside gasps audibly, devices recording every brutal moment. Load him in Davis's vehicle, Thompson orders. Transport him to Dock 21. Harrison wants to question him personally before we make this problem disappear. Ms. Jackson's daughter reports live. Police brutality escalating rapidly here in Riverside. The man appears to be bleeding from a head wound. Multiple officers are involved in what residents describe as excessive force. Harrison's voice crackles over all their radios simultaneously. Thompson, cease all radio communication immediately. Switch to backup channel 9, media monitoring our frequencies. The corrupt officers switch to encrypted radio channels, but Roberts's FBI wire captures everything they say. This is getting too public, Martinez worries. Channel 5 has 5 camera crews en route. Social media is exploding. We need to abort. Can't abort now, Thompson responds desperately. He knows everything. 19 months of investigation, financial records, wire recordings. If he communicates, we're all facing federal prison. Davis opens his police vehicle doors. Move him now before more media arrives. Daniel realizes this is his final chance to signal federal backup. He catches Roberts's eye and mouth silently. Denver Protocol. Denver Protocol. Emergency extraction code for blown operations. Roberts nods almost imperceptibly. Thompson drags Daniel toward the vehicle, weapon still pressed against his head. You should have minded your own business, should have stayed out of this region. Actually, Daniel says loudly enough for the neighbors to hear, I should have brought more backup. Thompson pauses. What backup? Your federal colleagues don't know where you are. Are you certain about that? Doubt flickers across Thompson's expression. He keys his radio. Harrison, are we certain of no federal surveillance in the vicinity? Negative federal presence verified, Harrison responds. Proceed with relocation and interrogation. But Harrison is wrong. Michelle Carter's team has been monitoring everything through Roberts's wire and Daniel's tracking device. Federal agents are positioning for tactical intervention. The crowd outside grows bolder. Ms. Jackson steps forward with her device. Officer, we need to see your authorization for this detention. Step back, ma'am, or you'll be arrested for obstruction. On what charges? For requesting to see proper documentation. Davis points his weapon toward the crowd. Everyone step back now. 33 neighbors with devices don't step back. They step closer, recording everything. Social media posts multiply exponentially. Hashtag corrupt cops trends nationally within minutes. Roberts keys his radio on the FBI frequency. Denver Protocol initiated. Request immediate tactical response. Officers threatening civilian crowds with weapons. Thompson forces Daniel into the vehicle. Drive to Dock 21. We end this tonight. As the vehicle pulls away from Daniel's residence, Michelle Carter's voice comes through Roberts's earpiece. Federal response teams converging on Dock 21. Estimated arrival 7 minutes. Maintain surveillance and report position. The neighbors watch helplessly as police drive away with their bloodied neighbor. Ms. Jackson contacts Channel 5 again. They're transporting him to some warehouse. This isn't a detention. This appears like an abduction. Harrison's voice crackles through all corrupt officer radios. Federal involvement verified. FBI task force active in the region. Operational security compromised. Prepare for scorched earth procedures. Scorched earth. Daniel knows what that means from organized crime cases. They're planning to eliminate everyone who knows about their corruption. The police vehicle speeds through empty streets toward the warehouse district. Daniel sits restrained in the back, blood still trickling from his head wound. Thompson keeps his weapon trained on him while Davis drives and Martinez monitors police radio frequencies. Federal task force is real, Martinez reports grimly. Harrison just verified 19 months of investigation. They know about the casino money. They know about the association kickbacks. They know everything. Thompson's expression contorts with anger and desperation. How long have you been recording us? Long enough, Daniel says quietly. For the first time in 19 months of deep cover work, Daniel feels genuine fear, not for himself. Federal agents accept these risks, but for the innocent people his investigation might destroy. Ms. Jackson and her neighbors. Officer Roberts attempting to stay alive while maintaining his cover. His daughter Sophie, who still doesn't know Daddy's real job involves hunting dangerous people. You destroyed our lives, Davis says bitterly from the driver's seat. 21 years on the force. Good service record, pension almost secured. Now what? Federal prison because of your investigation. Daniel understands their desperation, but feels no sympathy. You destroyed your own lives when you started accepting casino money. Thompson strikes him again. Keep quiet. We're dead men because of you. 50 officers facing federal charges, families destroyed. Children will grow up knowing their fathers are criminals. The vehicle approaches Dock 21, an abandoned warehouse complex where Metro Police stores decommissioned vehicles. Perfect location for making problems disappear permanently. Daniel's federal training recognizes the tactical disadvantage immediately. Isolated. No witnesses. Multiple escape routes for the corrupt officers. Daniel's encrypted device, still in Thompson's possession, vibrates with a coded message. Michelle Carter attempting to reach him with extraction coordinates. Thompson answers instead. Your agent's about to have a very unfortunate accident. Michelle's voice comes through clearly. Inspector Thompson, you're interfering with a federal investigation. Release Agent Williams immediately. Thompson laughs maniacally. Agent Williams is about to have a fatal encounter with some very dangerous criminals. Tragic loss of life during undercover operation gone wrong. He smashes the device against the vehicle's metal wall, destroying Daniel's final communication link with federal backup. No more federal contact, Thompson announces triumphantly. Now you're completely alone. But Daniel isn't completely alone. Officer Roberts, still wearing his FBI wire, follows in a separate patrol vehicle. Federal agents are tracking his location through positioning system. Michelle Carter's tactical team is converging on Dock 21 from 4 directions. The vehicle arrives at the abandoned warehouse. Davis parks behind stacks of rusted police vehicles where satellite surveillance can't penetrate. Thompson drags Daniel out roughly, pushing him toward a corrugated metal building that resembles a slaughterhouse. This is where Luis Rodriguez had his accident, Thompson explains with cruel satisfaction. Fell down some stairs repeatedly into a concrete mixer. Daniel's blood runs cold. Officer Luis Rodriguez, not the same person as their current clean Officer Roberts, was murdered here 7 months ago for investigating the same corruption network. Harrison will be here in 11 minutes, Martinez reports. Wants to personally question the Fed about recorded proof before we dispose of the problem. Thompson forces Daniel into the warehouse. The smell hits him immediately. Old motor oil, rust, and something else. Something organic and rotten. Death. Frightened now? Thompson taunts. No backup coming, no federal cavalry, just you and us in a very deep hole. Daniel's training kicks in. Assess the environment, count exits, calculate distances, plan escape routes. But restrained and outnumbered 8-1, his options remain extremely limited. My daughter Sophie, Daniel says quietly. She's 13 years old, lives in Denver with her mother. If something happens to me, she'll never understand what really happened to her father. Should have considered that before you started investigating us, Davis responds without emotion. She believes I'm a boring technology consultant. Safe job, normal existence. She'll spend years wondering why her daddy never came home. Thompson wavers slightly. He has children too. Don't mention your kid. Sophie wants to be a police officer when she grows up. Says she wants to help people like her daddy does. She doesn't know her daddy hunts corrupt cops. I said don't mention her. But Daniel continues, voice steady despite his desperate situation. She's going to discover her father was FBI, going to read about this case in newspapers. Going to learn that corrupt officers murdered him because he was attempting to protect people. Martinez shifts uncomfortably. Thompson, maybe we should reconsider this approach. No reconsideration, Thompson screams. He destroys us, we destroy him, simple. Through the warehouse skylights, distant helicopter rotors become audible. Thompson assumes it's police surveillance. He doesn't realize it's federal tactical support approaching Dock 21. Harrison's black sedan pulls up outside. The corrupt commander enters the warehouse carrying a briefcase and wearing latex gloves. Federal Agent Daniel Williams, Harrison says formally, you've caused considerable problems for our organization. Your criminal organization, Daniel corrects. Harrison strikes him casually. 19 months of surveillance, wire recordings, financial documentation. How much proof exists and where is it stored? Daniel remains silent. Harrison opens his briefcase, revealing torture instruments. We have all night to extract information. Wait. Outside, Officer Roberts reports to Federal Command. Subjects entered warehouse complex. 9 armed and extremely dangerous. Recommend immediate tactical intervention. Michelle Carter responds. Federal team in position, initiating rescue operation in 70 seconds. But 70 seconds might be too late. 4 miles away, FBI Special Agent Michelle Carter receives Officer Roberts' desperate transmission. Federal agent in immediate mortal danger. Warehouse District Dock 21, Building 8. Request emergency, tactical intervention. All units converge on target location, Michelle commands into her radio. Federal agent under active threat. Authorization for defensive force granted. Move now. FBI tactical teams positioned throughout the region activate simultaneously. Black vehicles race through empty streets. Helicopter surveillance redirects to Dock 21. Federal marshals scramble from field offices across the state. The machinery of federal law enforcement mobilizes like a sleeping giant awakening. Inside the warehouse, Harrison examines his torture instruments methodically. Federal investigations require federal proof. Agent Williams, tell us where your recordings are stored and your death becomes quick instead of prolonged. Daniel calculates timing. Federal backup needs 6 more minutes to reach optimal tactical position. He has to survive 6 minutes against 8 desperate violent men. Recordings are automatically uploaded to federal servers, Daniel lies smoothly. Encrypted cloud storage. Even if you eliminate me, proof remains accessible to prosecutors. Harrison's confident expression wavers. No agent operates with that level of automation. Modern federal investigations use advanced technology. Every conversation, every financial transaction, every corrupt gathering has been documented and preserved. Thompson kicks Daniel in the ribs. He's stalling, playing for time. Time for what? Harrison demands. No federal backup knows this location. But Harrison is wrong. Michelle Carter's tactical team has surrounded the warehouse complex. Snipers position on adjacent buildings. Surveillance equipment maps exit routes. Federal agents prepare for coordinated assault. Outside, Officer Roberts positions his patrol vehicle to block the main escape route while maintaining his corrupt officer cover. His FBI wire transmits everything happening inside Building 8 to Federal Command. Federal Response Team Alpha in position, Michelle hears through her earpiece. Building secured from north and east approaches. Team Bravo positioned south and west, another voice reports. All escape routes covered. Harrison begins Daniel's interrogation with professional brutality. 19 months of investigation. How many officers are compromised? How many federal indictments are planned? Blood runs from Daniel's nose, but he smiles despite the pain. Harrison, you're about to discover personally. What does that mean? Check your watch. What time is it? Harrison glances at his wrist automatically. 12:58. In exactly 4 minutes, Daniel continues calmly, federal agents are going to breach this building. You'll be in federal custody within 6 minutes. Your casino kickbacks, your association corruption, your murder of Luis Rodriguez, all documented with sufficient proof for life imprisonment. Thompson panics. He's bluffing, the feds don't know we're here. But doubt spreads through the corrupt officers like infection. They've been accepting casino money for 4 years, living comfortable lives beyond their police salaries, now facing federal prosecution and decades in prison. Check the perimeter, Harrison orders. Verify no federal surveillance. Martinez peers through dirty warehouse windows, sees nothing unusual. Federal tactical teams remain invisible in darkness, positioned beyond visual range with night vision equipment. All clear, Commander. No movement detected. Harrison relaxes slightly. Continue interrogation. Agent Williams provides full cooperation or suffers consequences. But Daniel's confident demeanor unsettles them. Most victims break down under torture threats. Daniel acts like he's already won. You seem remarkably composed for someone about to die, Harrison observes. I've been federal law enforcement for 21 years, Daniel replies steadily. Faced worse threats than corrupt local cops playing criminals. Thompson hits him with metal knuckles, splitting his cheekbone. Show some respect. Respect, Daniel laughs despite bleeding profusely. For criminals wearing badges, for murderers who eliminate honest cops like Luis Rodriguez. Harrison's radio crackles with dispatch reports. Multiple federal vehicles observed in Warehouse District. FBI tactical teams verified. The corrupt officers exchange panicked glances. Impossible, Harrison whispers. How did they locate us? Daniel's smile grows wider. Officer Roberts has been wearing federal wire for 19 months. Every word you've spoken tonight is recorded proof. The corrupt officers stare at Roberts with sudden comprehension and rage. You traitor, Thompson screams at Roberts. You're the federal informant. Roberts draws his service weapon, pointing it at Thompson. FBI, everyone drop your weapons immediately. The warehouse erupts in chaos. 8 corrupt officers against 1 federal agent and 1 wired officer. Outside, Michelle Carter hears gunshots through Roberts's FBI wire. Federal agent under fire. Breach immediately. Go, go, go. Federal tactical teams explode through warehouse entrances simultaneously. Flashbang grenades detonate, disorienting the corrupt officers. Laser sights cut through smoke like red death. FBI, drop your weapons now. The siege of Dock 21 begins. Federal flashbang grenades explode like thunder, turning the warehouse into strobing chaos. Smoke fills the atmosphere as tactical teams pour through multiple entrances. Red laser sights cutting through darkness like deadly fireflies. FBI, drop your weapons, hands visible now. Thompson spins wildly, firing blind shots at advancing federal agents. Harrison dives behind rusted police equipment, still clutching his torture instruments. The corrupt officers scatter like insects when lights come on. In the chaos, Daniel rolls behind a concrete pillar, hands still restrained behind his back. Officer Roberts engages Thompson in a firefight, muzzle flashes lighting their faces like deadly strobe lights. Federal agents, cease fire and surrender immediately. But Thompson's desperation overrides survival instinct. He's facing life imprisonment. Death seems preferable to decades in federal prison. Michelle Carter's voice booms through a tactical megaphone. Commander Harrison, Inspector Thompson, you're surrounded by federal agents. Drop your weapons and surrender. Harrison emerges from cover, hands raised, torture briefcase abandoned. Professional survival instincts overcome criminal desperation. Don't shoot, I'm surrendering. Thompson continues firing at federal agents, his shots wild and desperate. A federal sniper's bullet catches him in the shoulder, spinning him around. His weapon clatters across concrete. Officer down, Wilson screams. Officer needs assistance. You're not an officer, Special Agent Michelle Carter announces as she approaches Thompson with federal restraints. You're a criminal wearing a badge. Federal tactical teams secure the warehouse systematically. 8 corrupt cops in custody, 1 clean officer safe, 1 federal agent alive but bloodied. Michelle Carter approaches Daniel, keys ready for his restraints. Sorry about the delay, Chief. We wanted ironclad proof before extraction. Daniel stands slowly, professionally, as his federal credentials are returned to him. The restraints come off his wrists, leaving angry red marks. He straightens his shoulders. Federal authority replacing suburban victim. Special Agent Carter, Daniel says formally. Operation Desert Justice is concluded. Harrison stares in shock from federal restraints. Chief, what chief? Michelle Carter smiles with professional satisfaction. Gentlemen, meet FBI Division Chief Daniel Williams. He's not just a federal agent. He's the head of the FBI Organized Crime Task Force for the entire Southwest region. The corrupt officer's faces drain of color completely. Division Chief, Martinez whispers. We assaulted an FBI Division Chief. You abducted him, Michelle corrects. Tortured him, threatened to murder him. All felony assaults on the highest-ranking federal law enforcement officer in the state. Thompson, bleeding from his shoulder wound, realizes the magnitude of their error. Impossible. He's just a suburban consultant. We verified his background. You verified his cover identity, Daniel explains calmly, wiping blood from his face. 19 months of deep cover operation. Technology consultant Daniel Williams was a federal legend created specifically to investigate your corruption network. Harrison shakes his head in denial. No way. We had intelligence on him. Sources verified he was asking civilian questions about casino operations. Your sources were federal agents, Michelle reveals. Officer Roberts, the casino security chief you trusted, the association accountant who provided financial records, all federal assets building proof for prosecution. Officer Roberts removes his FBI wire, handing it to Michelle. Every conversation recorded, every bribe documented, 19 months of federal proof for prosecution. Daniel addresses the corrupt officers directly. Commander Harrison, you personally ordered my intimidation tonight. Inspector Thompson, you assaulted a federal agent and threatened murder. That's not local police misconduct. That's federal terrorism. Martinez begins crying. 21 years on the force, my pension, my family, what happens to my children? You should have considered your family before accepting casino money, Daniel responds without sympathy. Federal agents continue securing proof throughout the warehouse. Crime scene photographers document torture instruments. Financial investigators seize Harrison's briefcase containing ledgers of corrupt payments. Thompson struggles against his federal restraints. This is entrapment. Federal agents can't conduct undercover operations against local police. Actually, we can, Daniel corrects. When local police commit federal crimes, when casino money crosses state lines, when corrupt officers murder federal informants like Luis Rodriguez. Harrison's expression goes white. How do you know about Luis? Federal investigation, Commander. We know everything. Michelle Carter reads federal Miranda rights to each corrupt officer. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in federal court. You have the right to federal legal representation. Federal court, not local jurisdiction, not police association protection. Federal prosecution with mandatory minimum sentences. The warehouse fills with federal agents, federal evidence teams, and federal prosecutors. The full weight of federal law enforcement focuses on 8 corrupt local cops who thought they were untouchable. Daniel accepts a federal medical kit from Michelle, treating his injuries professionally. Gentlemen, your corruption network is dismantled. 50 officers facing federal indictments. Casino connections severed. Association leadership arrested. 50 officers? Davis asks desperately. How many people were you watching? Everyone, Daniel answers simply. For 19 months, we watched everyone. The federal agents escort their prisoners toward armored transport vehicles. Harrison makes eye contact with Daniel one final time. You destroyed us completely. No, Commander, you destroyed yourselves. I just documented it. Federal justice has arrived. Outside Dock 21, federal law enforcement transforms the warehouse district into a command center. FBI mobile units, federal marshal vehicles, and helicopter searchlights create an impenetrable perimeter. Phase 2 commences now, Daniel announces into his encrypted device. Execute simultaneous arrests across the region. Federal teams breach 46 locations. Corrupt officers dragged from residences in restraints. Police Association headquarters raided. Casino offices seized. Harrison watches his empire collapse. How many federal agents were involved? Enough, Daniel answers. FBI, DEA, federal marshals, Treasury Department. When corruption involves organized crime, every federal agency responds. Thompson still can't process their defeat. We were careful, encrypted devices, laundered money through legitimate accounts. You faced federal professionals with unlimited resources, Michelle Carter corrects. Officer Roberts approaches Daniel. Chief, complete proof secured, every conversation recorded. Outstanding work, Agent Roberts. 19 months undercover required exceptional courage. Roberts is FBI too, Martinez asks desperately. Special Agent Carlos Roberts, different from the murdered officer. We use the name to honor our fallen agent. Federal prosecutors arrive with indictments. Organized crime charges, money laundering, terrorism, each carrying decades of federal prison. Inspector Thompson, Prosecutor Washington announces. You're charged with assault on a federal officer, abduction, terrorism, life imprisonment without parole. Thompson breaks down. I have a family, children in college. You destroyed everything when you became a criminal wearing a badge, Daniel responds coldly. The media arrives. Network news crews, FBI press officers, headlines explode. FBI dismantles massive police corruption network. Harrison makes one desperate attempt. Williams, we can negotiate, testify against higher casino corruption. You had 19 months to choose justice, Daniel says. Federal prosecution proceeds without negotiations. Federal agents escort prisoners to armored transport. No local cells where corrupt colleagues might assist. As Harrison is loaded, he calls out, How long were you planning this? 4 years, since Officer Luis Rodriguez reported casino corruption before his murder. The convoy departs. Daniel coordinates final evidence collection. Michelle approaches with statistics. 50 arrests, 2.6 million seized, 19 months of proof. Daniel looks across the region's glittering lights. Federal law enforcement doesn't negotiate with corruption. We eliminate it. Justice served with federal precision. 7 months later, the federal court delivers final verdicts. Judge Rebecca Morrison's voice echoes through the packed courtroom. Commander Robert Harrison, life imprisonment without parole. Inspector Marcus Thompson, life imprisonment without parole. Daniel observes from the gallery. Ms. Jackson and Riverside neighbors fill several rows. The quiet consultant who tended his lawn revealed himself as the federal officer who cleaned their community. Outside the courthouse, journalists surround Daniel. Division Chief Williams, what message does Operation Desert Justice send? Daniel adjusts his federal credentials with quiet authority. Some doors shouldn't be kicked down. Federal justice reaches everyone regardless of badge or uniform. The same words from that midnight raid, now spoken from federal authority, instead of suburban vulnerability. His device vibrates with Sophie's text. Dad, I saw the news. I'm proud you catch bad people. Sophie knows the truth now. Her father doesn't fix computers, he fixes corruption. Daniel drives through Riverside past his former surveillance residence. New residents live there now, an actual technology consultant. The community has returned to genuine peace. At FBI headquarters, Michelle Carter briefs emerging cases. Chicago PD shows similar corruption patterns. Assign undercover assets. 19-month surveillance operation, Daniel orders. Federal patience continues. In federal prison, Harrison stares through barred windows. No casino money, no association protection, just decades of federal time. Thompson shares a neighboring cell. Pension forfeited, family destroyed by his choices. Daniel returns to his apartment, legitimate federal housing. His refrigerator displays Sophie's photographs beside federal commendations. Some doors hide federal badges. 19 months of patient investigation reveals more corruption than dramatic confrontations. Tonight, Daniel sleeps peacefully. Tomorrow, he investigates the next corruption network. Federal justice never rests. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Share your thoughts on police accountability in the comments. Subscribe for more federal justice stories. Corruption exists everywhere, but so do agents ready to expose it. At Black Voices Uncut, we don't polish away the pain or water down the message. We tell it like it is because the truth deserves nothing less. If today's story spoke to you, click like, join the conversation in the comments, and subscribe so you'll be here for the next Uncut Voice.